Imagine a life where nothing disrupts your inner peace. Picture a state of being so grounded, so serene, that no insult, challenge, or external chaos has the power to shake your sense of calm. Envision waking up every day with a deep and unshakable tranquility, as if you carried a sanctuary within yourself, a place of refuge that shields you from the storms of life. How would that feel? What would it mean for your relationships, your decisions, and your overall sense of well-being? This is not an unattainable dream reserved for the spiritually gifted. It is, in fact, a way of being that anyone can cultivate with dedication and practice. Rooted in the profound teachings of Buddhism, inner peace is not merely a state that arises by chance. It is a skill, one that requires awareness, intention, and effort. Through mindfulness, self-reflection, and compassion, we can learn to quiet the turbulence of our minds and connect with a deeper sense of equanimity. At the heart of this practice lies a simple yet profound truth. True peace does not depend on external circumstances. It is not about eliminating every stressor, fixing every problem, or controlling the uncontrollable. Instead, it emerges from within, a reflection of how we perceive, interpret, and respond to the world around us. This is the timeless wisdom offered by Buddhist teachings. The path to inner peace begins within ourselves. The journey to the state of inner harmony involves more than fleeting moments of quiet or temporary relief from stress. It is about cultivating a way of living that transforms how we navigate life's inevitable ups and downs. This practice doesn't require us to renounce our daily responsibilities or retreat from society. Rather, it calls us to engage with life more mindfully, with a heart open to compassion and a mind anchored in clarity. In this exploration, we will delve into 10 transformative Buddhist principles designed to nurture inner calm, resilience, and compassion. These timeless teachings offer guidance for handling life's challenges with grace, freeing ourselves from habitual reactivity, and finding balance amidst the demands of the modern world. By applying these principles, you can develop a deeper connection to yourself and others, empowering you to live a more centered, harmonious, and fulfilled life. Whether you are new to Buddhism or simply seeking tools for greater peace of mind, these principles are accessible to everyone. They are not bound by religion or culture. They are universal truths that speak to the human experience. As we embark on this journey together, let us remember that the path to inner peace is not a destination, but a practice, one that unfolds moment by moment. Number 1, insults and offenses. In the teachings of Buddhism, insults and hurtful words are seen not as inherent sources of suffering, but as opportunities to examine our own attachments and responses. The power of an insult lies not in the words themselves, but in the meaning we ascribe to them and our willingness to let them disturb our peace. This understanding invites us to step back and consider a different perspective. What would happen if we refuse to let insults define our emotional state? Imagine a stone thrown into a calm pond. The water ripples briefly, but it soon returns to its natural stillness, undisturbed by the stone's presence. In the same way, our minds have the capacity to remain tranquil, even in the face of offensive words or actions. The key lies in how we process these experiences. If we grasp onto the hurt, replaying the incident in our minds and internalizing the negativity, we prolong our suffering. However, if we can allow the insult to pass through us without attaching significance or resentment to it, we maintain our peace. The Buddha's wisdom on this subject is clear and transformative. He taught that holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. It is we who get burned. This metaphor underscores the self-destructive nature of clinging to anger and resentment. When we dwell on the sting of an insult or nurture feelings of revenge, we are not punishing the person who hurt us. We are only harming ourselves. Learning to let go of negativity and preserve our inner peace is a skill that requires practice and patience. Mindfulness offers a pathway to this freedom. By staying present in the moment and observing our emotions without judgment, we can recognize when anger or hurt begins to arise. Instead of reacting impulsively, we create a space to choose our response. In this space, we can practice self-compassion, reminding ourselves that our worth is not diminished by another person's words. Meditation is another powerful tool for cultivating this sense of equanimity. Through regular meditation, we train our minds to observe thoughts and emotions as they come and go, much like clouds passing across the sky. This practice helps us detach from the urge to react defensively or retaliate. It strengthens our ability to remain grounded in our inherent dignity, even when faced with provocation. Self-compassion plays a vital role in this process as well. When we nurture kindness and understanding toward ourselves, we become less vulnerable to the opinions of others. We recognize that insults often say more about the person delivering them than about us. Responding with understanding rather than retaliation allows us to break the cycle of negativity and foster a sense of inner strength and resilience. Ultimately, the practice of letting go of insults and offenses is not about suppressing our emotions or pretending that hurtful words don't affect us. It's about choosing not to let those words take root in our hearts and disrupt our peace. It's about reclaiming our power to remain calm and centered, no matter what life throws our way. By embracing mindfulness, meditation, and self-compassion, we learn to rise above negativity, preserving our inner tranquility and responding to the world with wisdom and grace. Number 2, transform everyone into a teacher. In the teachings of Buddhism, there is a profound encouragement to see every interaction as a potential lesson and every individual we meet as a teacher. Life, in its infinite complexity, presents us with countless opportunities for growth, and each person we encounter holds the possibility of offering us valuable insights, whether through joy, challenge, or even discomfort. This perspective invites us to shift from judgment to curiosity and from resistance to openness, fostering both personal growth and a deeper sense of compassion. Imagine for a moment that every person crossing your path is a mirror reflecting something about your inner world. Some people might inspire you with their kindness, resilience, or generosity, awakening within you a desire to emulate those qualities. Others might test your patience, humility, or understanding, challenging you to look inward and confront areas where you may still struggle. These moments are not accidents. They are the universe's way of presenting us with the lessons we need at any given time. For example, someone who frustrates or angers us might be offering an opportunity to practice patience and emotional regulation, rather than reacting with irritation. We can pause and reflect on why we feel triggered and how we might respond with greater mindfulness. Similarly, encountering someone whose kindness and compassion touch us deeply can serve as a reminder to nurture those same qualities within ourselves. By viewing others as our teachers, even the most challenging interactions become stepping stones on our path to personal growth. This approach aligns beautifully with the Buddhist understanding of interconnectedness. All beings are interdependent, bound together in the shared fabric of existence. Recognizing that everyone has a role in shaping our journey deepens our empathy and appreciation for others. It dissolves the illusion of separateness and helps us see that every experience, whether pleasant or difficult, contributes to the evolution of our character and understanding. Transforming everyone into a teacher also requires humility. It asks us to set aside the ego's tendency to judge, criticize, or dismiss others and instead approach each encounter with a willingness to learn. This doesn't mean we condone harmful behavior or ignore our boundaries. Rather, it means that we look beyond the surface of an interaction to discern what lesson might be hidden within it. Even those who act out of anger or ignorance can teach us something, perhaps about the nature of suffering, the importance of forgiveness, or the power of compassion. This mindset not only benefits our personal growth, but also fosters a sense of gratitude for the diverse experiences life offers. Each moment becomes an opportunity to deepen our understanding of ourselves and others. The more we embrace this perspective, the more we cultivate a heart that is open, curious, and accepting. Ultimately, seeing everyone as a teacher transforms how we move through the world. It encourages us to approach life with a sense of wonder and possibility, recognizing that wisdom can come from the most unexpected sources. It nurtures our capacity for empathy as we begin to appreciate the unique struggles and strengths of those around us. By embracing this practice, we align ourselves with the interconnected nature of all beings, fostering growth, understanding, and compassion at every turn. Number 3, transform envy into emulation. In the teachings of Buddhism, envy is viewed not as an inescapable flaw, but as a feeling that can be understood and transformed. At its core, envy arises from a sense of comparison, insecurity, and lack, a perception that someone else's success diminishes our own. This emotional response, if left unchecked, can lead to resentment and negativity, clouding our ability to see the good in both others and ourselves. However, Buddhism offers a powerful perspective. Envy can be transformed into a force for growth and inspiration. Imagine encountering someone whose achievements, talents, or qualities you deeply admire. The initial pang of envy might whisper that they possess something you lack, a better career, greater skills, or more recognition. Yet, what if you chose to see their success not as a threat, but as an opportunity to learn? Instead of resenting their accomplishments, you could allow them to inspire you, showing you what is possible and motivating you to strive for your own goals. Buddhism teaches that we can reframe envy into emulation by shifting our focus from lack to possibility. The Buddha reminds us to adopt admirable traits out of respect and inspiration rather than jealousy or competition. When we approach other successes with a mindset of curiosity and gratitude, we open ourselves to valuable lessons about how we might cultivate similar qualities in our own lives. For example, witnessing someone's discipline and dedication might inspire us to adopt similar practices in our pursuits. Observing another's kindness and compassion can serve as a gentle reminder to nurture those qualities within ourselves. This transformation requires mindfulness and self-awareness. The first step is to recognize when envy arises and to observe it without judgment. By acknowledging the feeling, we take away its power to control us. We can then reflect on what exactly triggers our envy. Is it their talent, confidence, or recognition? What does this reveal about our own aspirations and desires? Often, envy points to areas where we long to grow or feel we have fallen short. Instead of dwelling on the gap between where we are and where we want to be, we can view this awareness as a roadmap for self-improvement. Gratitude plays a crucial role in this process as well. By celebrating others' successes, we cultivate a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. Their achievements do not take away from our own potential. They highlight the endless possibilities available to all of us. This shift in perspective allows us to foster joy for others while simultaneously affirming our own worth and capability. Transforming envy into emulation also deepens our connection with others. It encourages us to see them not as competitors, but as allies and examples. When we admire and learn from their strengths, we create an environment of mutual growth and support. This practice not only benefits our personal development, but also fosters a sense of unity and goodwill within our relationships and communities. Ultimately, the journey from envy to emulation is about changing how we perceive and respond to the success of others. It's about letting go of comparison and embracing inspiration. By focusing on learning from those we admire, we replace resentment with self-improvement, insecurity with possibility, and negativity with gratitude. Through this transformation, we nurture a heart that is open, generous, and aligned with the Buddhist path of growth and compassion. Number 4, be strict with yourself, tolerant of others. The principle of being strict with yourself while tolerant of others is a profound teaching in Buddhism, offering a roadmap for personal growth and harmonious relationships. At its core, this principle invites us to hold ourselves to high standards of discipline, integrity, and self-awareness, while extending compassion, patience, and understanding to the imperfections of those around us. This dual approach reflects the balance between striving for personal excellence and embracing the shared humanity of others. To be strict with oneself means to take responsibility for one's own actions, thoughts, and growth. It is an acknowledgement that true progress begins within, and that change requires effort, self-reflection, and accountability. This is not about being harsh or overly critical of oneself, but about maintaining a commitment to live according to one's values and aspirations. It involves a willingness to examine one's own behavior, recognize areas for improvement, and take intentional steps toward becoming a better version of oneself. Discipline plays a key role in this process. Whether it's cultivating mindfulness, practicing kindness, or pursuing wisdom, growth requires consistent effort. However, this effort must be rooted in self-compassion rather than self-punishment. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of treating oneself with the same kindness and understanding we would offer to a dear friend. When we approach self-discipline with a gentle yet firm resolve, we create the conditions for sustainable growth and resilience. While we hold ourselves to high standards, Buddhism also reminds us to extend tolerance and compassion toward others. Recognizing that everyone is on their own unique path is essential to fostering empathy. Just as we struggle with our own flaws and limitations, so too do others face their own challenges and imperfections. By accepting this, we learn to be less judgmental and more understanding. Instead of reacting with frustration or criticism, we can respond with patience and kindness, appreciating the complexity of others' experiences. This principle also highlights the interconnectedness of all beings. Our relationships thrive when we approach them with humility, recognizing that no one is perfect and that each person is doing their best with the resources they have at any given moment. Tolerance does not mean condoning harmful behavior or abandoning boundaries. Rather, it calls for a compassionate approach that seeks to understand before judging, to empathize before condemning. Balancing strictness with oneself and tolerance for others cultivates inner peace. When we focus on improving ourselves, we avoid the trap of projecting our frustrations onto others. Simultaneously, when we extend compassion to others, we free ourselves from the burden of resentment and create space for harmonious connections. This balance fosters relationships built on mutual respect and understanding, while ensuring that we remain grounded in our own growth. Ultimately, this principle is about aligning with the Buddhist path of self-improvement and compassion. It encourages us to embrace the challenges of personal discipline while remaining mindful of our shared humanity. By being strict with ourselves, we take responsibility for our own progress. By being tolerant of others, we contribute to a world where kindness and empathy can flourish. Together, these practices help us cultivate a life of integrity, harmony, and inner peace. Number 5, no one can hurt you. The idea that no one can hurt you is a transformative teaching in Buddhism, offering profound insight into the nature of emotional suffering and resilience. At its core, this principle invites us to understand that emotional pain does not stem directly from others' actions or words, but from our internal response to them. While external events may trigger feelings of anger, sadness, or frustration, the true source of our suffering lies in how we interpret and react to these situations. This understanding empowers us to reclaim control over our emotional well-being and navigate life's challenges with grace and strength. Buddhism teaches that external circumstances are inherently neutral. It is our mind that assigns meaning and emotional weight to them. For instance, someone's harsh words may cause one person deep distress, while another person, hearing the same words, remains unshaken. The difference lies not in the words themselves, but in the way they are processed and perceived. This highlights a liberating truth. We have the power to influence our emotional state by choosing how we respond to life's difficulties. Mindfulness is an essential tool in cultivating this inner resilience. By practicing mindfulness, we develop the ability to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. When someone's actions or words threaten to upset us, mindfulness helps us pause and examine our reactions before they escalate. Instead of immediately lashing out or internalizing the hurt, we can create a mental space to respond with clarity and calm. This practice enables us to detach from negativity and recognize that others' behavior often reflects their own struggles, fears, or ignorance rather than any inherent truth about us. Meditation further supports this process by strengthening our inner stability and self-awareness. Through regular meditation, We learn to quiet the mind and connect with a deeper sense of peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. Over time, this practice builds emotional resilience, allowing us to face challenges with equanimity and composure. When we cultivate this inner strength, we become less reactive to the actions of others and more grounded in our own sense of self-worth. The Buddhist teaching that no one can hurt you without your consent is not about denying or suppressing emotions. It does not suggest that we should ignore hurtful actions or pretend they don't affect us. Instead, it encourages us to take responsibility for our own emotional well-being by recognizing the role our minds play in creating suffering. This perspective empowers us to respond to difficulties not as victims, but as active participants in our own healing and growth. For example, when faced with criticism or rejection, we might initially feel hurt or defensive. However, by practicing mindfulness and self-reflection, we can ask ourselves, why does this affect me so deeply? Is there truth in their words, or am I attaching unnecessary meaning to them? This process allows us to separate constructive feedback from unwarranted negativity and to respond in a way that preserves our dignity and peace of mind. This teaching also encourages compassion for ourselves and others. When we understand that others' hurtful actions often stem from their own pain or ignorance, we can choose to respond with patience and kindness rather than retaliation. At the same time, we can practice self-compassion, acknowledging that it's natural to feel hurt, but that we have the strength to move beyond it. Ultimately, the idea that no one can hurt you without your consent is a call to reclaim our inner power. It reminds us that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can control how we interpret and respond to them. By cultivating mindfulness, meditation, and self-awareness, we build the resilience needed to face life's challenges with grace and equanimity. This practice not only protects our emotional well-being, but also fosters a deeper sense of inner peace and strength, enabling us to live with clarity and compassion in an unpredictable world. Number 6, the power of acceptance. Acceptance is one of the most profound and transformative principles in Buddhism, serving as a foundation for inner peace and emotional freedom. At its essence, acceptance is the practice of fully embracing reality as it is, without resistance or denial. It is an acknowledgement of life's complexities, uncertainties, and imperfections, not as a sign of resignation or weakness, but as a powerful step toward clarity, resilience, and meaningful action. Suffering often arises from our refusal to accept what is. We may cling to the idea that life should be different, resist changes we cannot control, or judge ourselves and others harshly for falling short of our expectations. This resistance creates inner turmoil, amplifying our pain and disconnecting us from the present moment. Acceptance offers an alternative. Instead of fighting against reality, we can meet it with openness and equanimity, reducing unnecessary suffering and cultivating a sense of peace. To practice acceptance does not mean giving up or passively enduring life's challenges. Rather, it is about seeing situations as they truly are, without the distortion of judgment, fear, or wishful thinking. By accepting reality, we gain the clarity and strength needed to respond effectively. For example, when faced with a difficult situation, resisting or denying its existence only prolongs our distress. Acceptance, on the other hand, allows us to assess the circumstances with honesty and take meaningful steps forward. This principle also extends to our relationships with others. Accepting people as they are, including their flaws and imperfections, fosters empathy and compassion. It reminds us that everyone is navigating their own struggles, and that expecting perfection from others is as unrealistic as expecting it from ourselves. This perspective helps to ease frustration and disappointment, creating space for more harmonious and understanding connections. Equally important is self-acceptance. Many of us carry an inner critic that magnifies our perceived flaws and mistakes, fueling feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. Buddhism encourages us to turn toward ourselves with the same kindness and acceptance we might offer a dear friend. By acknowledging our imperfections without judgment, we create room for growth and healing, Self-acceptance is not about ignoring areas where we can improve, but about recognizing that we are worthy of love and compassion exactly as we are, even as we strive for progress. Life's unpredictability is another area where acceptance plays a crucial role. The Buddhist concept of impermanence teaches that change is the only constant. Clinging to the idea that things should remain the same or unfold according to our expectations is a recipe for frustration and suffering. When we embrace the uncertainty of life, we develop the flexibility to adapt and the courage to face challenges with an open heart. Acceptance of impermanence allows us to savor life's fleeting joys and navigate its inevitable losses with grace. The power of acceptance lies in its ability to transform how we experience the world. By letting go of resistance, we free ourselves from the mental and emotional burdens that weigh us down. This freedom creates space for growth, creativity, and healing, enabling us to approach life with a sense of balance and peace. Acceptance does not mean we cease to care or strive for better outcomes. It simply means we do so from a place of clarity and groundedness, rather than from a place of resistance or denial. Ultimately, acceptance is a practice, a daily commitment to meet life as it is, moment by moment. Whether it's accepting the unpredictability of events, the imperfections of others, or our own limitations, this practice fosters inner peace and resilience. It allows us to move through life with greater ease, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and cultivating a deep sense of harmony within ourselves and with the world around us. Number 7, living according to nature. Living according to nature is a timeless principle in Buddhism, one that teaches us to align our lives with the rhythms, cycles, and truths of the natural world. This practice fosters balance, harmony, and mindfulness, reminding us of our deep interconnectedness with all forms of life. Observing the flow of nature, the changing seasons, the rise and fall of the sun, the ebb and flow of tides, helps us embrace simplicity, adapt to impermanence, and find resilience in the face of life's challenges. Nature serves as a profound teacher, offering wisdom through its quiet constancy and cyclical patterns. The seasons, for example, demonstrate the inevitability of change. Spring blossoms into summer, summer fades into autumn, and winter gives way to rebirth. These transitions reflect the impermanence inherent in all things, a central teaching in Buddhism. By observing and accepting these natural rhythms, we are reminded that change is not something to resist or fear, but a natural and necessary part of existence. This perspective encourages us to approach our own lives with greater flexibility and equanimity. Mindfulness, too, is cultivated through our connection to nature. When we immerse ourselves in the natural world, listening to the rustling leaves, feeling the warmth of the sun, or observing the intricate patterns of a flower, we become fully present in the moment. These experiences ground us, helping to quiet the mind and reconnect us with the simplicity and beauty of life. In nature's stillness, we find an opportunity to pause, reflect, and experience a sense of peace that transcends the distractions of modern life. Nature also teaches us interconnectedness, a core principle of Buddhist philosophy. Every element of the natural world is intricately linked, forming a web of relationships that sustains life. The air we breathe, the food we eat, and the water we drink all come from nature, highlighting our dependence on and responsibility to the environment. This awareness fosters a sense of gratitude and humility, encouraging us to live in ways that honor and protect the earth. Living according to nature also promotes physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Spending time outdoors has been shown to reduce stress, improve mood, and enhance overall health. But beyond these immediate benefits, connecting with nature deepens our sense of belonging and purpose. It reminds us that we are not separate from the world around us, but an integral part of a larger whole. This perspective nurtures a sense of harmony and inspires us to live with greater intention and care. Respecting and protecting the natural world is an essential aspect of this principle. When we treat the earth with reverence, we honor the life it sustains and ensure its gifts for future generations. This practice aligns with the Buddhist ethic of non-harming, ahimsa, urging us to minimize the harm we cause to the environment and make choices that reflect our interdependence with all living beings. Ultimately, living according to nature is about more than observing its rhythms. It's about embodying its wisdom. It's about finding balance in our own lives, cultivating mindfulness and resilience, and embracing the impermanence that nature so beautifully illustrates. By aligning ourselves with these truths, we create a life of harmony, simplicity, and interconnectedness, qualities that not only enrich our personal well-being, but also contribute to the flourishing of the world around us. Number 8, focus on ethical living. Focusing on ethical living is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice, emphasizing the importance of honesty, compassion, and respect for all beings. This principle is deeply rooted in the law of karma, which teaches that our thoughts, words, and actions create ripples that shape our reality and affect the world around us. Ethical living invites us to align our daily choices with values that promote harmony, kindness, and integrity, leading to deeper relationships, inner peace, and a more fulfilling life. At its core, ethical living is about being mindful of the impact of our actions. Every choice we make, whether small or significant, has consequences both for ourselves and others. The Buddhist precepts provide guidance in this regard, encouraging us to avoid actions that cause harm and to cultivate behaviors that support well-being. For example, practicing non-harming, ahimsa, means not only refraining from physical violence, but also avoiding harsh words, deceit, or exploitation. This commitment extends to all beings, reflecting a deep respect for life in all its forms. Kindness and compassion are essential aspects of ethical living. By choosing to act with empathy and care, we contribute to a world that is more understanding and supportive. Compassion does not mean agreeing with or condoning harmful behavior. Rather, it calls us to recognize the shared humanity in others and respond in ways that alleviate suffering rather than perpetuate it. When we treat others with kindness, we nurture trust and connection, fostering relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. Honesty and integrity are also central to ethical living. Speaking truthfully and acting with sincerity help to build a life that is authentic and grounded. When we live in alignment with our values, we experience a sense of coherence and inner peace that cannot be achieved through deceit or hypocrisy. Integrity involves not only being truthful with others, but also being honest with ourselves, acknowledging our own flaws and striving to grow in ways that reflect our highest aspirations. Ethical living is not about rigid rules or external enforcement. It is a conscious and dynamic practice that evolves with our understanding. It encourages us to reflect on the intentions behind our actions and to consider how they align with our values. This self-awareness allows us to navigate complex situations with wisdom and compassion, making choices that are guided by principles rather than impulses or external pressures. The law of karma serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of our actions and their outcomes. By acting ethically, we create positive energy that not only benefits others, but also returns to us in the form of inner harmony and well-being. This is not about seeking rewards or avoiding punishment, but about recognizing that our actions shape the world we inhabit and the person we become. Ethical living also fosters resilience and self-respect. When we act in ways that align with our values, we strengthen our character and cultivate a sense of self-worth that is independent of external validation. This inner stability allows us to face challenges with confidence and composure, knowing that we are grounded in a life of integrity. Ultimately, focusing on ethical living is about embodying the values that lead to a harmonious and meaningful life. It is a commitment to treat ourselves, others, and the world with care and respect, creating a foundation for trust, connection, and peace. By practicing kindness, avoiding harm, and living with honesty and compassion, we not only contribute to the well-being of those around us, but also nurture a sense of fulfillment and alignment within ourselves. Through ethical living, we become active participants in creating a more compassionate and balanced world, one choice at a time. Number 9, practice gratitude. Gratitude is a profound practice in Buddhist philosophy, a gateway to shifting one's perspective from focusing on what is lacking to cherishing what is already present. It is an acknowledgement of the blessings that permeate our lives, often unnoticed in the hustle and complexity of daily existence. This practice is not merely about saying thank you for the obvious, but about cultivating a deep awareness of the abundance around us, even in moments of struggle or difficulty. In Buddhism, gratitude is a tool to anchor the mind in the present moment, allowing us to transcend the constant craving and dissatisfaction that arise from comparison or attachment. When we practice gratitude, we are reminded that life itself is a gift, and every experience, whether joyous or challenging, holds value. By choosing to see the blessings in our lives, be it the warmth of the sun, the support of a friend, or even the lessons learned from hardship, we shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. This transformation reduces negativity, helping us to face life's adversities with greater resilience and a calm heart. Gratitude also fosters humility, a core principle in Buddhist teachings. When we express thankfulness, we acknowledge the interconnectedness of all beings. We recognize that the air we breathe, the food we eat, and the kindness we receive are not products of our effort alone, but are gifts from others and the world around us. This interconnectedness dissolves the illusion of separateness, fostering a sense of unity and compassion. Gratitude becomes an act of honoring the contributions of others and appreciating the intricate web of existence that sustains us. Beyond its impact on perspective, gratitude has the power to transform relationships. When we express genuine appreciation to those around us, we create an atmosphere of warmth and respect. A simple gesture of gratitude, a kind word, a thoughtful note, or even a quiet acknowledgement can strengthen bonds, mend misunderstandings, and deepen connections. In Buddhist practice, such acts of mindfulness and kindness are essential for nurturing harmonious relationships and promoting mutual growth. Gratitude is not confined to moments of ease or success. Its true depth is revealed when it is practiced in times of difficulty. During moments of loss, uncertainty, or struggle, gratitude reminds us of the constants that remain: a loving friend, the strength within us, or the lessons embedded in adversity. This ability to find light in the darkest moments aligns with the Buddhist view of impermanence, reminding us that all things are transient and that even sorrow carries the seeds of growth and understanding. To practice gratitude is to cultivate mindfulness. It calls us to slow down, to pause and truly observe the world around us. The sound of rustling leaves, the laughter of a child, the taste of a simple meal. These moments become profound when approached with a grateful heart. Gratitude shifts our awareness to the present, grounding us in the here and now, and allowing us to experience life with clarity and fullness. Buddhist teachings also emphasize that gratitude is an active practice, not just a passive emotion. It is something to be nurtured intentionally, reflecting daily on what we are grateful for, expressing thanks to those who impact our lives, and performing acts of kindness in return are ways to integrate gratitude into our being. This practice not only brings joy and contentment, but also cultivates positive karma, creating a ripple effect that benefits others and ourselves. Through gratitude, we learn to release the cycle of endless striving and embrace the simplicity and sufficiency of the present moment. We begin to understand that true wealth lies not in possessions, but in the ability to see and appreciate the blessings already at hand. Gratitude becomes a source of inner strength, allowing us to approach life with a sense of wholeness and serenity, irrespective of external circumstances. In the words of the Buddha, let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So, let us all be thankful. These words remind us of the ever-present opportunities to practice gratitude, no matter how small they may seem. Ultimately, gratitude is a path to liberation. It frees us from the chains of discontent, draws us closer to others, and opens our hearts to the boundless beauty of existence. In embracing gratitude, we align ourselves with the essence of Buddhist teachings, a life of mindfulness, compassion, and profound inner peace. Number 10, trust the process and let go of control. In Buddhist philosophy, attachment to specific outcomes is often seen as a source of suffering. When we cling tightly to how we believe life should unfold, we set ourselves up for stress, frustration, and disappointment. Trusting the process, on the other hand, is an act of releasing this attachment and embracing the inherent uncertainties of life. It is a practice of surrendering to the flow of existence while remaining fully present in each moment. Trusting the process does not mean abandoning effort or ceasing to care about our goals. It is a delicate balance between taking thoughtful, purposeful action and recognizing that the results are ultimately beyond our control. By letting go of the need to dictate outcomes, we create space for life to unfold naturally. In this surrender, we open ourselves to possibilities that we may not have envisioned, allowing unexpected blessings and opportunities to emerge. This practice fosters patience and adaptability. Life rarely adheres to our plans, and the rigidity of expectations can leave us feeling unmoored when things don't go as anticipated. Trusting the process encourages us to meet life's changes with a sense of curiosity rather than resistance. It is a reminder that every challenge, delay, or detour has the potential to guide us toward growth, understanding, or a better path than the one we initially envisioned. Letting go of control requires mindfulness and self-awareness. It begins with recognizing when we are clinging to specific desires or resisting change. Through practices like meditation, we learn to observe these attachments without judgment and gradually release their hold on us. This act of letting go is not about passivity, but about cultivating a mindset of trust. Trust in ourselves, trust in the natural order of life, and trust in the unfolding journey. In trusting the process, we find freedom from the constant striving and anxiety that often accompanies attachment. It allows us to experience life as it is, rather than how we wish it to be. This freedom brings a profound sense of peace, as we no longer expend energy trying to control what is beyond our influence. Instead, we focus on what we can do in the present moment, aligning our efforts with our values while accepting that outcomes will unfold as they are meant to. This philosophy is deeply intertwined with the Buddhist teaching of impermanence. Life is ever-changing, and clinging to permanence is a futile endeavor. Trusting the process aligns us with the natural rhythms of life, teaching us to flow with its currents rather than resist them. Imagine a river. Swimming against its current is exhausting and futile, but trusting its flow allows us to navigate it with ease and grace. Practicing trust in the process also deepens our connection to the present moment. When we let go of fixating on the future or dwelling on the past, we can fully engage with life as it is happening. This presence fosters gratitude, as we begin to notice and appreciate the beauty of the here and now. Trusting the process invites us to savor life's small joys while building resilience for its inevitable challenges. Buddha's teachings remind us that peace comes not from controlling the external world, but from mastering our internal one. By releasing our grip on the uncontrollable, we cultivate equanimity, a steady and composed mind that remains calm amidst life's uncertainties. Trusting the process becomes a practice of faith, not in a religious sense, but in the understanding that life has its own rhythm and wisdom, even when it diverges from our expectations. Ultimately, trusting the process is a liberating practice that encourages us to approach life with an open heart and a flexible mind. It allows us to live with intention and purpose while embracing the mystery and unpredictability of existence. By letting go of the need to control everything, we free ourselves to experience life's richness and depth, finding peace in the journey rather than the destination. As we draw to a close in our exploration of these 10 profound Buddhist principles, let us take a moment to reflect on the journey we've undertaken. Each principle represents more than a concept. It is an invitation to grow, transform, and embrace a life rooted in inner peace. By letting go of negativity, practicing mindfulness, and learning to trust the natural flow of life, We gain tools not only to strengthen our own resilience, but to enrich the connections we share with those around us. These teachings are not about striving for an unattainable ideal of perfection. Rather, they are gentle reminders to approach each day with clarity, compassion, and balance. They encourage us to navigate life's challenges with grace and to find moments of peace and gratitude even amidst the chaos. Every small step we take toward embodying these principles is a step toward living more harmoniously with ourselves and the world. If these insights have spoken to you, consider sharing them with others. By spreading this wisdom, you help to illuminate the path for those seeking understanding, harmony, and peace in their own lives. Together, we can nurture a world where mindfulness and compassion are guiding lights, a world where gratitude and inner calm can flourish. Thank you for joining this journey. May these teachings inspire and support you as you continue to walk the path of mindfulness and transformation.